when Princess Loco was doing that stuff with Tommy Wright, she was fucking 15 years old.
Don't get me started. Listen, the amount of pedophilia in the rap industry is insane. Noriega's got a song where he was talking about 12 and 13-year-olds coming backstage. That was my problem with the video. Like, it just really perpetuates this whole idea that this is the only way that you can make it in the industry, is behaving in this manner. And it's actually interesting that comes out, and then this whole
what are those colors? Oh, that's gross.
Oh my gosh, it's crazy. And it's satanic.
It looks so
the
bad.
The whole thing is satanic. Like, there's so many different levels of
purple.
Satanic. But then that whole Netflix thing with Misogyne or whatever her name is, the French director with these little kids. And it's like, okay, so you got this video coming out with these women acting like strippers. I mean, not even good strippers, like, because I mean, Tip Drill was worse. I'm just like, this whole thing is just nonsense. I think it was hyped up with, first, remember, Meg got shot. No, remember, Meg and Kylie was all hanging out with Tory Lanez, which makes no sense. Then Meg gets shot at a party. Then Kylie posts a picture of her foot, and then this comes out. Like, come on, like, somebody's got to explain to me.
It's all about
how this was not all set up.
It doesn't matter whether the music video is good, whether it's bad. Look how crazy it is, and that's going to garnish attention. Like, look at those stripes. It's purple and green.
It looks terrible. It looks like a satanic funhouse.
Are you guys noticing, by the way?
Bubblegum Baphomet.
Are you guys noticing, by the way, that the background?
Energy.
Yes, the background of it is pretty much the same as in Twin Peaks, the Black Lodge.
Yeah.
That is the exact pattern that they're repeating.
Because it's awesome, but what's the problem with it? Why are you upset by this? It's a cool video. It's funny. It looks great. It's aesthetically pleasing.
It's devil worship.
It's satanic.
How is it satanic?
Okay,
I didn't watch it.
Where is there a satanic symbol
No,
in that
I
video?
didn't watch it, but these clips just look weird. I don't like the colors.
Let's break it down. When we're talking about
feel weird
satanic,
looking at them, right?
like Hotep Sophia, how would you describe satanic? Like,
okay, so I mean, mainstream satanic. So you've got the black, white, and red. You've got the print that Cardi B is wearing in one of the other shots, which is MK Ultra programming print. Then you've got just the whole room opening, and then, like, it's sort of like, to me, when they have these different colors, they're different personalities. So you have these people who look, I mean, this is the whole like of MK Ultra, like, they've been programmed to these different rooms. They act different when they get to different rooms, and they're in this hallway. This is what, from what I've seen people describing the MK Ultra programming, which I consider satanic, this is exactly what it looks like. This is what I would expect to see if someone was trying to break me. Because remember, they have to put out a certain level of music to be able to break people. They use this, just like the White Rabbit song from the 60s. Like, that was a song that they used to break people by Jefferson Airplane. I listen to a lot of 60s music. Like, I can see which songs they clearly were using as a part of this whole programming thing, because it's so... it's got a certain feel to it. So that's what the vibe. I didn't even listen to it. I don't like Cardi B's voice, and I don't like Meg either. So I really couldn't, just from an aesthetic, I couldn't even listen to it. So I don't like it.
We had mentioned. Yeah, I agree with what Sophia's saying. Like, any music video that's like this gratuitously busy and then gets like so much press, like, I'm assuming there's like hidden messages interwoven in what they're doing. Just because that's what they do, and they've been doing it since, well, generations now.
Yeah, I wanted to say about the brainwashing thing with MK Ultra. Like you were saying about 60s music. I think one interesting thing I saw was that on Twitter, I think it was Cowboy was talking about how the Beatles were potentially used in brainwashing programs.
Definitely. If you listen to the music, you can hear it. Also, another person that I hate that everyone likes is the guy he did Lay Lady Lay and Let's Get Stoned, and what's his name? Come on, y'all don't listen.
I think those are different people.
Dylan is satanic as well.
Bill, what's his name?
Bob Dylan.
That's Bob Dylan. And
oh my goodness.
I hate Bob Dylan.
All his music is got messages upon messages laid into it, and he is the worst singer I have ever heard.
The worst.
And his songs make no sense. Like Lay Lady Lay. Really? Like
Bob Dylan has satanic messages? Like
I haven't heard about any of this.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm sort of a person who follows this type of stuff, but I've also done a lot of research, but I wouldn't say him specifically. But I think that
wasn't he also friends with
programming.
Wasn't he also friends with Allen Ginsberg, right? And like he was a pedophile or something like that. I don't remember.
Yeah, he's a pedophile. Oh, pedophiles. Good lord.
Oh,
I'm a music person.
Bob Dylan?
No.
Bob
Some guy
Dylan
he was
was a
friends with.
pedophile?
Found something about Bob Dylan.
You don't
here.
know what they were doing at the anybody.
No.
I assume people who went to Woodstock are pedophiles because you don't even know how old the people were at Woodstock.
The boomers are
But I like Bob Dylan.
Him.
Hold on, Bob Dylan's a
Glow in the dark.
pedophile. Time out.
I mean,
Time out.
He's also
Bob
Jewish.
Dylan practices
Shatter your
Kabbalah.
life.
Okay,
I don't know.
who did music with Phil Spector.
Yeah, I don't know about Bob Dylan
music
himself.
With Phil Spector is suspect to me because Phil Spector was. I can't even put. I'm not gonna say what he was doing, but he was doing the most. So I figure anybody who, you're guilty by association because that's just like the people who hung out with Harvey Weinstein. You can't tell me you didn't know what he was doing.
All of these last names.
You can't tell me. You can't pretend like you didn't know what Bill Clinton was doing if you're hanging out with him.
Well, wouldn't that be pretty much everybody in entertainment there for the most part? Because it's like, if
they're all
going to the parties, unless you want to be the whistleblower whose life gets ruined, you're going to have to kind of. And I guess back then it was like,
you got to pay the price for success, basically, and that's the price. Silence of terrible things.
They bought a lot of people. It's
selling your soul, basically. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, like we were talking before about Bill Cosby, like there were other people around Bill Cosby that were doing the same thing. They're around right now. Nobody talks about them. So that's like, I don't know.
Well, Bill Cosby tried to buy NBC. That was his problem. He should have left that whole media thing alone.
What was his problem?
He tried to buy NBC. He was putting together a bid to buy NBC, and then
for how much?
I don't know what it was, but this was
I've heard that was around the time he got
Obama
caught
allowed
for
it to
the stuff.
happen. So my thing is like, I can't even. Here we go down a rabbit hole. If anybody ever wants to go down the music rabbit hole, that is the rabbit hole I'm very.
And what about Michael Jackson?
familiar with.
Michael Jackson and the Apple company that he bought from the Beatles.
Michael Jackson was innocent. He was innocent.
He was.
Here's what it is.
He
you
was
can tell.
groomed.
You can tell. Well, there is that. But look, you look at like the real pedophiles, your Epsteins and everything. Like these people are going to be buried forever. But Michael Jackson, it's like profitable to talk about him as a pedophile all the time in the media. Like,
well, he was groomed. I mean, Diana Ross started grooming him when he was 10. So you have to. I mean, you have to look at all of this stuff and say, what in the world is going on? Like they signed him and his brothers and sisters at 9. He was 9 years old when their first song came out, and that's when Diana Ross was out. So and they put them together. So by the time the 70s rolled around, here he come and he's always up under Diana Ross. She groomed him. There's no other explanation for it.
There are other stories about him sleeping in the same room with all his brothers who were much older than him at the time, and they were banging all sorts of girls and doing drugs, and they ruining him up sexually.
The chat says
wasn't like
Corey
the
Feldman
father
said
of the
Michael
Jackson
didn't
5
touch
like
him.
horribly abusive?
Oh yeah, definitely.
His father chemically castrated him. That came out when his father died.
True? Is that true?
Yes, that came out when his father died.
So he had no ding dong, or like what was going on? Like
I don't know what a chemical castration
his balls
is.
was shut off.
Maybe it didn't work.
I think
just like the guy who
I think
runs
it does
Kiwi
something
Farms.
to basically make you impotent. Like
That's just a violent vasectomy.
I know it's not like what they did to Sun Ra. Sun Ra was, I mean, this is a black music person, but he was missing a testicle. So I don't even know what a chemical castration. I didn't even look into it because when I heard it, I was like, some things I could just like not have all the details on.
Jar acid dissolving.
Have you seen a Sun Ra's movie, Space is the Place, by the way?
Oh my gosh, Sun Ra. I love it. He was wild, but he's one of those people they use to sort of segment out people. So the people who follow Sun Ra, one of my teachers in undergrad was one of his followers. And they are like super futuristic. I just feel like that's one of those like experiments that the CIA was like running and they couldn't quite get it to go mainstream. So they just left this guy and his little group of, super whatever people alone. But his music is wild. I can listen to about 5 seconds of it and I'm like, wait a second, this music is it's interesting, but you have to be like people who like what's that, synthwave? I know a lot of people can do the synthwave. Synthwave gives me nightmares. So people who like synthwave could probably listen to Sun Ra. No, literally, like I tried to listen to synthwave. Somebody said, "Oh, synthwave. That's Black Wealth Twitter." Listen
what
to
is the
synthwave.
genre? What is this?
Synthwave is awesome.
Yeah, it gives me nightmares. I listened to it and I literally had the worst nightmare of my whole entire life, and I was like, this might not be for me. Let me go back to
this
my
Egyptian aesthetic that he has.
Yeah, I love the headset.
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
really nice
I want
looking,
that.
Yeah, that's tight.
There was
and he was wild. Woo.